So the next on the agenda, on the program, is contributions, questions, and general discussion on the presented papers. Contributions, questions, and general discussion on the presented papers. We first of all look at if you have contributions. Okay, we just take everything together. Please, if you have questions, contributions, let us know so that we can. Please signify by raising up your hands, and we will come. So, okay, Ashe.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, Jazakumullah khairan. We have just 15 minutes, so we use 1 minute and the 30 seconds to ask the question, 1 minute to answer, and if it is contribution, you have 1 minute to contribute. Number 8, sir. And your time starts now.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I just want to call our attention to a particular aspect of the respected missionaries' lecture or paper. He asked a question 4 times to the NAZIMEEN Allah. Do we, and no response. And the question is about how we motivate and activate and sustain the Mukomi, the grassroots. Instructions travels downward. Reports, feedback travels upward. So once instructions have been mutilated or misrepresented, there is no doubt feedback, responses will also be mutilated. It is just a play on words to say that certain information are mutilated, rather than say it is a lie. It's a play on words. If you say information has been mutilated, you are in a way saying that it's a lie. So we can't be telling lies to the Khalifa. Let us go and activate our Mukomi. Let us. I can tell you, and I say it every time everybody knows here, that 90% of our Mukomi are actless. They're not doing anything. Yet, we have reports. I think former Sadasa was at a meeting where I made the correction when he was not there. Okay, how many Jamaat? 10. How many open register to mark daily attendance to prayer? 21. No, how do you do that? Another thing is, how many of you that need? We are 30. How many participated in book reading? 50. What they did was 5 attended today. 7 attended the day before yesterday. Now added everything together. If you are a teacher and you have 20 pupils in your class, at the end of the term, how many pupils participated in your class? Are they 200? Because you had 10 days. These are the things we should learn, and that is why you emphasize. You cannot fulfill your duties, or you cannot carry out your duties or fulfill your responsibilities unless you know. You have to know. Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Because he's my teacher, so that's why I've added 1 more minute. So, number 7. Number 7.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In the lecture presented by our respected Sadar, I observed that there are certain officers that are conspicuously omitted in the organogram drawn. Is it deliberate, or they don't have any position in the organizational structure of the Majlis? Assalamu alaikum.
Number 6.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam.
My point has been raised by Uncle. I only come to say it for emphasis sake.
Jazakallah khairan. Number 4. Number 5, okay, number 5. Number 5. Okay, taken care of. Jazakallah. Number 4. Yeah, number 5, Ansarullah, yeah, number 4. Okay, what's in book?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Having listened to the two papers presented, personally to me, I want to believe that it has been crystal clear. It has been crystal clear that we have a long way to go, considering the reports we are receiving on a monthly basis. And I want to observe that there are two major factors that are responsible for this. The first one is that anybody that is anchored to be the head or to handle a particular job definitely must have ability, or can I say background, to be able to go through what the subordinates have presented. Besides that, or the time to do this, time and ability, I want to believe are being responsible for non-prompting reporting or effective reporting. Because if the leader or a support assistant, maybe Umumi, either of them, if one is lacking, the other should be able to assist. But in a situation whereby the two are lacking, definitely there's bound to be a problem. And that is the reason why, on a monthly basis, year in, year out, there are some departments that there will be no report at all. When I got up yesterday, I just decided, are we going to be going out like this? No report, blank, every month, year round. I want to believe that the two major problems, if our leaders could look into it, I think definitely it's going to go a long way in solving our problem.
Jazakallah. Number 3.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My question goes to Missionary Koya Sahib. When he was delivering his lecture, he gave an example of a Qa'i Ta'lim al-Quran, that sometimes it does not mean that someone appointed as a Qa'i Ta'lim al-Quran should have knowledge of the Quran. Now, my question is it possible to go into a business you don't have knowledge of that business? Assalamu alaikum.
I also heard that. So Farmer Salasa has one question. Missionary has one question. So number 2.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh. While appreciating our two lecturers, I just want to be more knowledgeable on Al-Wasiya. When Missionary Kola Sahib is delivering his papers, he do mentioned those that owns no property to be included in Al-Wasiya. But in the Wasiya form, what we were told is that anyone that cannot offer the 1,000 of naira in a month is excluded to be a Musian. So I just want to be more knowledgeable on this. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Jazakallah. Number 1.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My question is very simple, sir. I want to know the difference between Zuamala and Zuama Haka. Zuama Allah and Zuama Haka. I don't know the difference between the two, sir.
So, Sadas, I will answer that. Okay, so that's 2-2. So, Mr. Nicholas.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Number one question for me. This is our guide. And it is not written there that this should be the qualification of a person that will be appointed. Ditto in the Jamaat. It is never mentioned. What is required is the person we want to entrust with an office. Does he have the ability and loyalty to do the work? Knowing the Holy Quran is his own personal matter, his own personal affair. So if he is not the one that is appointed, he will also benefit from appointing somebody. So if he is not appointed because of his ability to deliver, he will also learn through his own ability. And in fact, that will also make him to learn. But it is not a requirement anywhere. Then Al-Wasiyat, I didn't say that, sir. I didn't say what you quoted. I mentioned that a person that does not have anything to give is exempted from being asked to give. I now cited example of Al-Wasiyah that Khalifa can approve that because of the piety, extreme piety of somebody, he can be allowed or permitted to be buried in Baishi Makobara. And I cited the book Al-Wasiyat. But administratively, somebody who wants to by himself want to commit himself to join Al-Wasiyat. In Nigeria till now, Uzur approved for us that the person must have minimum of 1,000 naira to pay per month. Issue of house or plot of land is not there. If somebody can afford freely 1,000 naira per month, he can be registered to join system of Wasiyat. So other things will follow. Jazakumullah khair.
Jazakallah khair. Master, sir. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The organogram of Majlis and Ansarullah, the question is whether I deliberately leave the certain people for the purpose of the course that presented. All other officers that I did not showcase, they are not going to act as an officer. They were being directed to do so. For instance, Sada Haf, Naibin, Naib Sada Admin, Naib Sada Awal, Savdom, they were under Sada's directive. Whatever he wants those people to do is what they are going to do. So for the course to be understood here is that you people that are seated there are the ones to carry out any duties. And those duties have to be done by executive officer that are sitting down. So the other officers are not, they are not directly carrying out one duty or the other. I think I have satisfied that question. Okay. The other one is what is Zuama Allah, what is Zuama Halko? So the Zuama Allah are the one we call Mukom. You know, we used to call them Saim Allah. Those that are not Saim Allah, we call them Saim. They are the Halko level, that is location. We have like few people in an area, like 3, 4, 5, 6. We call them Halko. But if it is more than, originally in the industrial assassin it is 9. But initially we said, okay, let us consider those can manage 7 for us to spread. So if you're up to 7 and above, we give you a title of Mukom. We now call you Saim Allah. So that is the difference between Halko and Mukom. Jazakumullah.
Jazakumullah khairan, sir. I think based on the question of Asiya, Mr. Yokola actually brought out that part. It says that it's in the book, The Will, number 18. It says that on page 40, section 18, if there is a person who has no property, movable or immovable, but it is established that he or she is virtuous, saintly, God-fearing, a genuine believer, and has no trace of hypocrisy and worldliness, nor is he or she found wanting in implicit obedience, then he or she too, by my permission or after me, with the consensus of the Anjuma, may be buried in this graveyard. So property is secondary. So Jazakallah. So the next is Chairman's closing remarks. Okay. I think I have like 15 minutes. So we'll do the closing remarks together. Emma Bino, we'll do it together. You know, the problem in coming to Ansarullah programs is that you don't even want to call your fathers. You know. Alaji, principal, principal, Alaji Ogunmola sir. One thing that we have learned here today, sir, from the two papers presented. Just speak. Okay, if there is a microphone that can go around. Oh, that's it. Okay, what? Okay. Okay. I can take this.
Assalamu alaikum. Just one of the many things I've learned today is that as a MULK officer, when we are given duties to perform, we should see that duty as a direct assignment from the Usul. And we should approach it with all facilities that God has gifted us with.
Okay, sir. Jazakallah, sir. Okay. Your own question, sir, is that, yes, sir. What is the difference between duties and responsibilities? What's the major difference between duties and responsibility as espoused by Missionary Ojokoro in his paper?
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
Well, duty is what is expected of every Muslim to do as regard the work given to them. Why responsibilities are those, what are they?
Sorry that I'm putting you on the spot. It's not intentional. I just to show that.
I think duties and responsibility, they are both used interchangeably.
No, you know? According to him, they are different.
Almost
okay,
the same thing.
Our father wants to help you. So sorry that I've put you on the spot. Wa alaikum salam, sir.
According to the lecturer,
yes, sir.
Duties is imposed according to Constitution, while the responsibility is task oriented. What you are expected to, are you doing it the way it should be done?
I don't think so. Mushahida, is that correct? Not really according to, yes, sir. Eba Afun, sir.
I just hope I'll be able to do justice to the question.
Yes, sir.
Like you said, duty is the task imposed on you to do.
Yes.
Why responsibility is the need for you to see that you carry out.
So how you carry out those duties,
yes.
Those are the responsibilities.
Yes.
That's Jazakallah, sir. So how you carry out the duties and now the responsibilities that have been imposed on you. And it is also not by Jazakallah. It's not that you can. It is only those duties that are imposed on you by the Constitution. There are certain things you can also actually impose on yourselves. To say, okay, these are the things I want to be doing. Now, carry out those things. Now, you've not made those things your responsibilities. Yes, sir. Okay.
If somebody gives me a directive, go and cut down that tree. That is a duty.
Yes.
How I cut it, either using a cutlass or uproot with my hand, it's my responsibility.
Okay.
The thing is that the tree must be moved.
I hope that also makes it clear. Okay, yeah, that simplifies it. Jazakallah khairan. Yes, Dr. Saab. Wa alaikum salam. Yes, in accordance with the stated rules. Yes. I mean, at times you see people saying, "By any sense, coming." No. How the Jamaat wants is also important. Yes, sir. Wa alaikum salam, sir.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
Just to add small, that while duty can be delegated or assigned, responsibility cannot be assigned. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay. Wa alaikum salam. Responsibility cannot be assigned. That didn't come out from this lecture. That I'm very sure of. So, but I think, yes, sir. You want to say something, sir? Please, microphone, sir.
Another point that came to limelight is that duty is narrower than responsibility, while responsibility is broader than duty.
Yeah.
Both are interwoven. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Jazakallah, sir. Okay, one other. Okay, I have a question. I don't know who can answer me. From the charts, those three organograms that former Sadas have put up for us. So what it means is that the officer appointed by the Nazim, right? The officer appointed by the Nazim Allah in his locality, he has nothing to do in this whole thing. I'm asking question. Yes or no? True or false? False. Aha. So, but Misha, can you explain why it is false?
The reason why it is false is he's not here in person. So this is not benefiting directly from the instructions of the MULK, but indirectly he is to carry out the instruction. So it has both. Yes.
But it's not stated on that organogram that is other.
Yes, it is understood from the graph, sir.
Okay.
I think your question is, the Nazim, is he part of this?
No.
Let me get the question, sir.
The Nazim Allah's appointees, yes. The Nazimeen in the local whatever. In Dilia, yes. They are not on this thing, on the organogram. So what is the essence?
Well, the essence is to take instruction from the Azaim Allah. That's what I understand. If I get your question right, sir.
Okay. Uncle, you want to expand it for us? Yeah. So sorry, sir.
I think we should have listened very well to Missionary Sir. He mentioned teamwork.
Good.
Anything that concerns them in administration, consult them. You are going to answer the question. You are going to be answerable to the Sir. But back home, some people are doing it for you.
Yes, that's where I'm
Carry them
going.
along.
Yes. So because without them reporting, without them working, what do you want to report? So they are very, very important to the system, even though their names or their offices didn't show in that organogram. That's the point I really want to bring out. Then the last one is, I don't know, maybe former Sada will answer this. I have written my report as an officer, as a NAZIMEEN. I've written my report. But the NAZIMEEN doesn't like the report I have written because I have said only 3 people participated when I should have written 30. Can I go back to, I will now say, go back and write the report as I want. Can I go back and write that report as I want, even though it is contrary to what actually happened at home?
Yes. The question is quite clear, and the duty is also clear. We should not deceive Khalifa. That's the point. And we have said it several times. If you are giving wrong information about what you are doing, you are only responsible for your own soul. Now, if any Muslim now try to, well, let me say, intimidate the subordinate, go and write social report so that you can be giving oration. Then you may get your oration, but don't mind that you are getting bad reward for yourself. So, as an officer under a nursing matter, you send your reports, and it is even there that from MULK, the report can go to the SADA's office. If NAZIMEEN wants to tell, let him go ahead. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. What of if, which does happen, and it happens to the person who is reporting didn't report well, either over or below? It happens. So can't we correct? And we know.
Sada, also, that's correction. So you can correct. Of course, once you, because again, you are, if for example, if it's a local Jamaat Delia where you also know what is going on, of course you can correct. He might have reported, yes sir, he might have reported what he didn't know or what he, so yes, you can correct, sir. Okay, Jazakumullah khairan. I mean, just to show that we are all attentive, that we were all attentive. Let me also mention as closing remark also, Mr. Has mentioned that that the person that has been, might have been appointed into a particular position might not actually be so conversant with that position. So for the person to now learn on the job, I will always make an example of Alhaji Ayela Agbe of blessed memory, the father of Koido Mumi. Alhaji was a bricklayer. He knew nothing about accounting. But there is nobody who was as diligent as he was in terms of financial secretaryship. He was very, very diligent. So I think what the Jamaat wants is that organizational ability. And yourself to be sincere to what you have been given, the roles you have been asked to play. Sincerity, that is what we need. That's all what we need. Yes, so in that, like I've noted here, this year is an election year. Majority of us, and see, those of us who are Ansarullah were the ones that every other section of the Jamaat is actually looking up to. I have seen elections that we are holding, and somebody would have said, when we get there, I will be in the front. So anybody that I raise up my hand for is the person you all should. So they are watching that person. Once they call the name, he raises up his hand, they won't raise up their hand. If he doesn't raise up his hand, they won't raise up their hand. So let us please lead in this election year, at Ansarullah, such that because majority of the problems we are having start from when we are doing election. We know this person is not qualified, but we say, he's my friend, he's my in-law, is this, is that. Please, it's election year this year, let us take note of that. Missionary Sabah said that when there is not an excuse to say you have members that are far flung. My circuit or my dealer comprises of so many different areas that are not so close. Yes, it's not an excuse. Let us also employ technology, in doing. It's not compulsory that you must have physical meetings always. That is not productive. You can do online meetings that are very, very productive. What is important is for you to meet and get reports. So if we can get that online without people having to come all the way to, and now that so you have to put technology into it so that we can get to where we are going. So those who are online, if there is any hands up, please help us check. If they have any question or contribution, those who are online. Go see. Okay, yes, sir. Then it is somebody who used to say, in fact, the person is the past MD of First Bank, Alaji Dr. Adedotan. He used to say that planning without execution is tantamount to hallucination. Planning without execution is hallucination. Okay, First Bank. What that means is that we have budget. So it's actually the year of budgeting now. We know what we have done in the past, and we plan. Missionary Staff mentioned planning in his papers. Planning is also budgeting. But if the joy of planning is to bring out, is to execute, what we have planned. So we want to do this, we want to do this, we want to do that. If it is not, if at the end of 1 year that we are talking about now, all what we have said, we are not able to report positively that we've achieved them, then we might have been hallucinating. So may God help us from that. So let's take note of that. It could also be in our personal spheres. When we plan, we strive to ensure that we execute those plans. That is very, very important. May Almighty Allah help us in all that we are doing. I also, when we're talking of report writing, Missionary Sab, as one of the reasons for report writing, is archiving historical events or happenings. I remember we were, going through documents in Lagos Island, Idumago. We were going through documents. We see report of, minute of meeting of 1950s. Minute of meetings of 1950s, 1940s in the archive there. So if you do old meetings and you don't write, so so that you cannot underestimate report writing. It is very, very, very important. May Almighty Allah support us and help us to be able to achieve what we have, to be able to achieve the expectation of the Caliphate Masih. Amen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So to close this session, please join me in silent prayers. Bismillah. Amen.